Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. Hey, Pentagon sources tell Fox News the U.S. has moved their ships off the coast of Yemen to monitor Iranian ships and to block weapons shipments to pro-Iranian rebels in Yemen. But we're getting a different story from State Department spokesperson Marie Huff. Listen to this.
I want to be very clear, just so no one has the wrong impression, that they are not there to intercept Iranian ships, to do issues like that. That the purpose of moving them is only to ensure the shipping lanes remain open and safe. I think there was some misreporting and confusion on this, and I just wanted to be very clear.
All right, she wanted to be very clear. So who are we to believe? Fox News contributor Gillian Turner is with us. Harp obviously downplaying this one, but why?
Well, I think as with the case with all these national security issues, don't follow the rhetoric, follow the action. I think that the arrival of these U.S. warships off the coast of Yemen is actually an encouraging indicator. I think it potentially signals that the U.S. military is willing to engage and push back this Houthi insurgency by whatever means necessary, land, air, and sea, and that this latest move on the waterways is really just an extension of that.
I agree with you 1,000%. You had the United Nations, they came up with a resolution. The vote was 14-zip. Russia abstained from voting. A blockade. We're not going to allow weapons into the rebels' hands. I mean, it seemed like the competent, smart thing to do. We bring in a show of force. Doesn't mean we're engaged in warfare with them, but do you think maybe it has something to do with the idea that we're still negotiating this nuclear deal with Iran, and we kind of look like chumps because they're saber-rattling all over the place, they're sponsoring terrorism all over the place, and here we keep coming, putting a happy face on these negotiations that we know the White House wants to come up with a deal by hook or by crook?
Well, there's a lot of concern publicly and inside the administration about these two issues, the nuclear negotiations and the military campaign in Yemen, bleeding into and unintentionally sort of affecting each other's outcomes. I think that's a very legitimate concern. And also the reality is that there's no way we can handle these things in a vacuum. You know, Secretary Kerry is insisting that the United States can very well handle both, and that they don't necessarily have to, sort of impede on the other. But the reality is that they're not, mutually exclusive. I think that the Iranians are taking advantage of this pause in the negotiations to try and assert some more authority across the, halfway across the world. And I think that's something that the administration really needs to be cognizant of.
But here's the thing, though, Gillian. I think no matter what the outcome is, that they're going to continue to exert their authority throughout the region and try to take control of the region. I don't see anything that we haven't seen anything with respect to the negotiations thus far that, in my mind, would stop them from advancing that cause.
You're absolutely right. And we're facing this kind of oddly unique foreign policy situation where we, the United States, are facing the Iranians across a negotiating table in one part of the world and across a battlefield in the other. And I think that what's happening in Yemen really underscores just how little trust and good faith the United States can afford to put in the Rouhani administration's hands at this point in time. They want a good deal with us, but at the same time they're running roughshod over our interests in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's the crux of it. Everyone keeps saying it really doesn't matter. Can we trust these guys? And I think the answer is always no, but that's just me. Gillian Turner, great stuff. We appreciate it.